Okay, we're out here with the Arrma Kraton 6S EXB V3 and the Arrma Notorious V6. Two excellent monster trucks from Arrma. The Notorious is a bit more of a stunt truck, definitely much more of a stunt truck, maybe the original stunt truck, and the Kraton more of an all-arounder. But we're out here at this new location. You know, honestly, kind of a sick spot. So I've actually never been here. I've been here, but never actually driven an RC car here. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it looks like an excellent spot to compare and contrast these two. And got both of them completely stock. Woo! But yeah, a lot of space. No one to bother us. And this should be epic. So the Kraton EXB sells for $830 at the time of this video. It is the Extreme Bash version, so it has the aluminum diff cases, the 7075 shock towers, the more of the EXB style shock internals with the machine pistons and stuff. So a little bit of a different set of features than the Notorious, whereas the Notorious has got your standard V6 stuff, but really has been upgraded heavily for the V6 with the 7075 chassis, the EXB disc. It's really got most of the upgrades from the EXB, to be quite honest, with a lot of updated composite pieces like the knuckles, the diff cases. So a lot of upgrades, and sells for $130 less. So they do not make an EXB version of the Notorious. They used to call the Outcast EXB, but currently don't make one, so not sure if they ever will. Hopefully one day. I was a big fan of that. This little backflip. So yeah, this place is pretty cool. Definitely much more of a rough and tumble type of place, but we'll try to keep it on all fours. Something like this is probably going to suit the Kraton a little bit more, where it's a little more stable on ground. Definitely doesn't want to try to standing backflip quite so much. So that should help when you're running something like this. And I have no idea what's on the other side of this. Little jump, but yeah, Kraton is a phenomenal RC car. Probably the best all-arounder you can buy. You can do wheelies if you want. Tires are good all-around tires. And with the EXB version, you get pretty much every upgrade you could possibly want. So pretty nice that you have that option. They also make a regular V6 version, which honestly is going to be fine for most people as well. So yeah, it's a great little all-arounder. And honestly, where am I? Upside down. Wall ride. honestly just durable, fast, easy to drive for a 6S car. This is easy, trying to say easy to drive in general. This is definitely not a beginner car or anything like that, but a little bit easier to drive than the Notorious, which can be a handful. So both of these are set to full punch. They do have the new upgraded software. The new firmwares are really fast. I think pretty much as fast as anything else out there. So pretty cool. They have that now. So yeah, let's quick look at the Kraton. Let's try out the Notorious. Terror. So I don't know why I rode right into that bush. Major differences from the Kraton are that you got the shorter chassis, so it's going to do flips more easily, but not be as stable on ground. It's got the probably backflip tires, so really good off-road tires, very knobby tires, and then a smaller wing, so you know, not as much downforce in the rear, but when you're doing backflips, you don't really want a whole bunch of downforce or anything like that. So on flat ground, you need a little bit more control. You don't just insta backflip like that on the ground. Yeah, definitely wheelies very easily. So no problems getting it up, that's for sure. Oh! Didn't realize it was lined up with that tree. But yeah, I can backflip much more readily than the Kraton. Really more of what it is. Uh-oh, looks like we broke something. Well, looks like we lost a screw. Well, we broke a screw. Yeah, we bent and broke a screw there, so maybe that was on its way out, not sure. Well, unfortunately a screw backed out on the steering link, so I don't have a screw with me to replace that. It just kind of unthreaded there, so. Well, there you have it, Kraton and Notorious. Unfortunately, the Notorious hit that tree and lost a screw on the steering rack, so didn't really get a ton of run in there. But yeah, both are excellent trucks. My personal favorite on something like this, I do prefer the Kraton, easier to drive, can still do the back flips, but when you're ripping at, you know, basically full throttle on flat ground, the Kraton's way easier to drive on this type of surface, especially when it's rough and bumpy. Notorious does need more of a deft hand on something like this because it's really meant for launching it. At my normal bash spot, hopefully you've seen videos of the Notorious as well as other vehicles out there at my local BMX park. Notorious is more fun because you can do the doubles, the triples, you can just launch it straight up, do whatever you want, and it's super easy to backflip and do stunts, whereas the Kraton does require a little more space, a little more speed, and not quite as good in a small type confined area, but really on a large wide open spot is where it's going to shine. So yeah, anyways, those are my thoughts on the Kraton and Notorious. Both are excellent. The Kraton also comes in the regular V6 version, so if you don't want to buy the EXB, I think it's totally fine buying the $700 V6 version. It has most of the upgrades. The aluminum diff housings, I would say, is not really necessary. The old ones were you know, prone to breaking on the V5s, but with the V6 they did redesign them, and I think they're pretty nice. Really the main advantage, I think, is you're also going to get the aluminum chassis braces, which is pretty nice. That is the one thing I broke on the Notorious. When I landed completely upside down, did break the shock basically center brace, as well as the composite chassis brace. Probably $20-30 worth of parts. They're all composite, whereas on the EXB version they're going to be aluminum and a little bit more durable. The EXBs, I also did break the diffs. I'm not sure why, because this is probably the 5th Arrma I've had with the EXB diffs. The first one I ever broke the little ring gears inside the diffs. I think it's probably just a bad batch, because I've had no issues with the Notorious. I've had no issues with, you know, probably 3 or 4 other EXB equipped differentials. So I think they just had a bad run on the first run of the Arrma Kraton EXB, but since then I replaced them and it's totally fine. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.